It's midnight and you're tuning into Nightline with me, Raymond Go. The top stories. NADMA orders disaster control centers in Sabah, Sarawak to brace for floods. And cops bust forex scam syndicate, seize 127 million ringgit worth of watches and gold. Good morning. State and district level disaster operation control centers in Sarawak and Sabah have been ordered to make preparations, including activating on-site control posts to face the possibility of floods. The National Disaster Management Agency, NADMA, said the order was issued following a forecast of a monsoon surge capable of bringing continuous rain issued by the Malaysian Meteorological Department, Met Malaysia. In a statement on Wednesday, NADMA also said the Social Welfare Department needed to ensure the availability of supplies for forward bases in Sabah and Sarawak in the event of flooding. A significant weather forecast for the period of January 6 to 12th, issued by Met Malaysia on Wednesday, stated that a cold front is expected to occur in Sarawak from Sunday. The department said the conditions would cause increased humidity that will potentially lead to continuous rain and flooding, especially in the central and west divisions of Sarawak. And at the same time, thunderstorms may occur throughout the country in the mornings and evenings till night. It was also reported that the number of flood evacuees in relief centers in Melaka, Negeri Sembilan, Pahang and Sabah have dropped on Wednesday, while Terengganu has fully recovered from floods with the closure of all relief centers in the state. Johor is still the worst flood-hit state, recording a slight increase in the number of victims on the same day, while the situation in Selangor remains unchanged. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob stressed that he would make sure that all the relevant agencies do their level best to smoothen the distribution of government aid following the recent massive floods. The matter was discussed in the first cabinet meeting of the year, which he chaired on Wednesday morning, to ensure that all aid previously announced by the government is delivered to the affected victims as soon as possible. The Prime Minister said that he had reminded all members of the Cabinet that everyone has a role to play in facing the health and economic crisis, as well as the disaster currently plaguing the nation. He strongly believed that with focus and dedication given by all quarters, the country will be able to sail through these challenges steadily as a Malaysian family. Among the issues given emphasis at the meeting were flood and post-flood management, as well as the suspension of Umrah travel following the spread of COVID-19 Omicron variant cases. The Prime Minister also said that 36,087, or 76% of heads of households affected by floods, had received the 1,000 ringgit Compassionate Aid, BWI, as of 1 p.m. on Wednesday. The distribution of the aid began on December 27th, just 10 days after the unexpected massive floods hit several states, including Selangor, Pahang and Negeri Sembilan. In other news, the Royal Malaysia Police PDRM is planning to have 5 boats at their disposal for each of the 157 district police headquarters, IPD, nationwide, as an immediate response to flood disaster. Bukit Aman Internal Security and Public Order Department Director, Dato' Hazani Ghazali, said the matter would be brought to the government's attention for consideration.
Kita telah merancang, kita akan tingkatkan keupayaan, especially PDRM lah. Dan kita bercadangkan untuk mendapatkan fasiliti penyelamatan tu oleh pihak PDRM itu sendiri. Contohnya, kita mendapatkan sekurang-kurangnya 5 bot di setiap IPD.
Dato' Hazani also said that PDRM has been entrusted to lead the disaster response team in the Special Task Force for Post-Flood Operations, chaired by Chief Secretary to the Government, Tan Sri Muhammad Zuki Ali. The disaster response assignments are divided into 3 phases, namely pre-disaster, during disaster and post-disaster, and would be implemented based on the National Security Council NSC directive dated March 30th, 2012. This includes gathering of information on disaster-prone areas, constant monitoring and risk assessment of the areas based on the weather forecast, and warnings coordination with other relevant agencies to ensure relief missions could be carried out effectively, security control in the affected areas, and coordinating aid to residents in the affected areas. He also revealed that a total of 54 deaths due to floods have been recorded across the country so far, while 2 other victims are still unaccounted for as of noon on Wednesday. The Anti-Corruption Advisory Board, LPPR, has found no criminal conduct or conflict of interest involving Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azam Baki in share trading done in 2015. LPPR Chairman Tan Sri Abu Zahar Ujang said the board in a special meeting on November 24, 2021 had sought the MACC chief's explanation over the matter, and the latter explained that his share trading account was used by his brother Nasir Baki to purchase shares in 2015. As such, at a special media conference on Wednesday, Tan Sri Abu Zahar said that the matter can be settled without having to form an RCI.
RCI, banyak perkara yang saya harap RCI ambil tindakan. Tetapi isu macam ni, saya kalau boleh selesaikan lagi baik. Tapi kalau nak selesaikan juga itu pulanglah pada kerajaan. Saya sebut tadi, saya akan serahkan ini perkara macam ni yang betul serius kepada Yang Amat Perdana Menteri. Kita pulang pada beri bicara Perdana Menteri lah. Kalau dia kata perlu RCI, itu hak dia lah membuat keputusan.
Tan Sri Abu Zahar said the LPPR is satisfied with the explanation given by the MACC chief. The LPPR is one of the 5 independent monitoring bodies of the MACC. Prior to this, allegations of the MACC chief having interests and shareholding in several companies had gone viral on social media. The MACC chief, meanwhile, said he would take legal action against those who had made the accusations against him. Tan Sri Azam also said the accusations were made in order to tarnish his reputation of more than 30 years with MACC.
Mengenai tuduhan yang mendakwa saya mengawal atau kontrol banyak syarikat, ini adalah satu total lie atau satu pembohongan besar oleh pihak-pihak tersebut bagi mewujudkan persepsi negatif terhadap saya. Ia digambarkan seolah-olah saya mengawal satu konglomerat yang besar di bawah saya. Ia direka-reka cipta dengan sengaja untuk menjatuhkan reputasi saya sebagai Ketua Pusatjaya dan juga institusi SPRM. Saya menafikan sekeras-kerasnya tuduhan ini kerana ia merupakan perbuatan yang berniat amat jahat.
He also said that there were efforts by those with interests who had an agenda against MACC to erode public trust in the anti-graft agency, noting that they used certain parties to put pressure on MACC.
The worst flooding in over 4 decades, severely affecting warehouse and logistics operations and shipment delays, with tens of thousands evacuated. While businesses are still tabulating the losses, how much will the disaster affect the company's performance? The Malaysian International Chamber of Commerce and Industry President Christina T speaks to Money Matters this Saturday at 5 p.m. on TV3.
Welcome back. Police crippled a foreign exchange forex syndicate that fleeced investors of 2.94 million ringgit with the arrest of 10 people, including a Datuk Sri. Bukit Aman Commercial Criminal Investigation Department, CCID Director Dr. Muhammad Kamaruddin Maddin said authorities also made a seizure totaling nearly 127 million ringgit following the arrest.
Syndicate ini mensasarkan majoriti mangsa adalah warga negara tempatan. Jadi mereka mempromosikan pelaburan ini berasaskan forex. Kadar pulangan yang dijanjikan adalah dalam bentuk mingguan di antara 12% hingga 14% daripada jumlah modal yang dilaburkan. So, para pelabur ini dimaklumkan bahawa wang pelaburan mereka akan dilaburkan oleh syarikat GCG ini ke dalam pelbagai medium untuk menjana keuntungan yang besar.
The suspects, comprising 9 men and a woman aged between 29 and 64, were nabbed in raids conducted in Perak, Selangor, Kuala Lumpur, Malacca and Johor on January 1st. Datuk Kamarudin also said that during the raids, police seized 9 luxury cars, 64 luxury watches, 5 gold bars, mobile phones, ATM cards, credit cards, laptops, as well as cryptocurrencies worth 21 million ringgit and over 100,000 ringgit cash. The syndicate was active since 2018, and 4 of the suspects also have criminal records related to fraud. 9 of the suspects have been remanded to facilitate investigations, while another remand ended on Tuesday. Former One Malaysia Development Berhad 1MDB Chief Financial Officer CFO Azmi Tahir has denied that his name had been dropped from the government's lawsuit in order for him to incriminate Datuk Sri Muhammad Najib Tun Razak in court. He told the Kuala Lumpur High Court on Wednesday that there were no criminal charges levelled against him and he did not know why he was not charged in relation to the financial scandal. According to Azmi, who is the 12th prosecution witness, he only read in the media that 1MDB had filed a suit against him and various individuals last year. However, he was never served with a copy of the lawsuit. He said this under cross-examination by Datuk Sri Najib's counsel, Datuk Hariharan Tara Singh, at the former Prime Minister's trial. Azmi also agreed that those who were in the witness list that the prosecution planned to call for the trial appeared to have been removed from the list of defendants in 1MDB's lawsuit later, while others, such as 1MDB's former CFO Radi Muhammad, were being sued. The witness also said that he had never taken any direct instruction from Datuk Sri Najib, as the accused was not part of 1MDB's management nor its board of directors. Azmi also kept repeating that while he was the CFO of the company, he could not be held solely accountable for everything that happened in 1MDB. In August 2021, it was reported that 1MDB had dropped the civil action against Azmi and 6 other defendants. The Pekan Member of Parliament is facing 4 charges of using his position to obtain bribes totaling 2.3 billion ringgit from 1MDB funds and 21 charges of money laundering involving the same amount. The trial before Justice Dato Colin Lawrence Sequeira continues on Thursday. Man's amorous internet affair actually just a parcel scam setup. Details when we come back. Nightline continues. In Malacca, an internet romance between two men led to police arresting 6 Nigerian suspects for their alleged involvement in a parcel scam syndicate. State Police Chief Dato' Abdul Majid Muhammad Ali said that police acted on the report lodged by a 42-year-old local businessman on November 20th before arresting all 6 foreigners aged between 35 and 40 at premises in Puchong, Selangor on December 30th. It was the first time police had probed such a scam involving an online romance fraud between 2 men. The victim was enticed with amorous messages and was willing to transfer 117,750 ringgit into 6 bank accounts through various transactions. The victim was promised expensive gifts and cash. 3 of those arrested were women. The syndicate had been operating in the country for the past 5 years. All the suspects had no travel documents. Police are probing the locals who had given their bank accounts to be used by the fraudsters to dupe their victims. In Kedah, a Kulim Municipal Council Engineering Department Director was charged at the Alostar Sessions Court for abuse of power by recommending a relative's company for a roadwork project worth 200,000 ringgit 2 years ago. Muhammad Tamimi Cheani, aged 42, however, pleaded not guilty and claimed trial when the charge was read to him before Judge Harmi Tamri. According to the charge, the accused, as the engineering department director, had abused his position to secure a project for his relatives by proposing Sago Ria Enterprise to the Kedah State Procurement Board to undertake a roadwork project worth 200,000 ringgit. The project is for road construction and maintenance in Kulim. Muhammad Tamimi allegedly committed the offence at the Kedah State Finance and Treasury Office in Wisma Darul Aman Alostar on December 12, 2019. The charge was filed under the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission Act 2009, which provides a jail term of up to 20 years and a fine 5 times the bribe amount upon conviction. The court set bail at 30,000 ringgit with 1 surety and fixed February 9th for mention. In Kelantan, an unemployed Thai national was charged at the Tanah Merah Magistrates Court with murdering his brother last week. 36-year-old Masofi Masai was charged with murdering Maudeng Masai, aged 30, at a house in Kampung Melayu, Sungai Roal, Jeli on December 29th last year. The accused only nodded when the charge was read to him before Magistrate Nodiana Abdulaziz. No plea was recorded. The court fixed January 30th for mention and ordered the accused to be referred to Hospital Bahagia Ulu Kinta in Perak following a request by Deputy Public Prosecutor Nazuha Muhammad Nasir for a mental health assessment. After the break, babies among 97 hostages freed in Nigeria. Stay with us. Good to have you back. Nearly 100 hostages have been rescued more than 2 months after they were abducted by armed groups in northwest Nigeria. According to authorities, among the 97 freed are 19 babies and more than a dozen children. Coming a few days after 21 school children were freed by security forces, the rescue brought a sigh of relief in Nigeria, where armed groups have killed thousands and kidnap for ransom has become commonplace. Police said the hostages were rescued unconditionally on Monday in joint operations, which are security operations targeting the camps of armed groups that have been terrorizing remote communities across the northwest and center of Africa's most populous country. It is not clear if ransoms were paid for the releases, as is usually the case in many remote communities in Nigeria's troubled north, but authorities have said their freedom was the result of military operations, including airstrikes. North Korea fired what appeared to be a ballistic missile into the sea on Wednesday, in the first such launch by Pyongyang this year. In confirming the matter, South Korea and Japan said that the North fired what is presumed to be a ballistic missile towards the sea east of the peninsula at around 8:10 a.m. local time. After an emergency meeting, South Korea's National Security Council expressed concerns over the launch, while Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida said that it is truly regrettable that Pyongyang has continuously launched missiles since last year. Kishida said the Japanese government was analyzing details, including how many missiles may have been launched. In the decade since Kim Jong-un took power, North Korea has seen rapid progress in its military technology at the cost of international sanctions. The nuclear-armed nation's first apparent weapons launch of 2022 followed a year of major arms tests despite the severe economic hardship during the coronavirus pandemic. The South Korean government on Wednesday said it will appeal against a court order to exclude private education facilities from a COVID-19 vaccine pass mandate, in the first major legal tussle over vaccinations that have been widely accepted. Health Ministry spokesman Son Young-rae, in a statement, said the government thinks it is necessary to expand the vaccine mandate to stabilize current situation and expedite the recovery of normal daily lives. Thus, he said the government will carry out the suit as rapidly and diligently as possible and immediately appeal against the injunction. A Seoul administrative court ruled on Tuesday that private education facilities such as cram schools, reading rooms and study cafes should be temporarily exempted from the mandate, granting an injunction requested by a coalition of private education providers and parents' groups. Action from the ATP Cup in Sydney as sports coming up next. sports, Pablo Carreno Busta beat Filip Krajinovic, while Roberto Bautista Agut eased past Dusan Lajovic for Spain to beat Serbia and reach the ATP Cup semi-finals on Wednesday. Following Chile's victory over Norway, Spain needed just one win in its final Group A tie against 2020 champion Serbia to secure a place in the semi-finals, where it will play Poland. Carreno Busta, who defeated Alejandro Tabilo and Viktor Durasovic earlier this week, played aggressively against Krajinovic, firing 30 winners and breaking 3 times to triumph 6-3, 6-4 after 80 minutes. In the second match of the tie, Roberto Bautista Agut laid down a marker, moving past Dusan Lajovic 6-1, 6-4 to give Spain an unassailable 2-0 lead against Serbia. With his victory, Bautista Agut has maintained his perfect record against Lajovic, extending his lead in their ATP head-to-head series to 5-0. In the final match of the tie, Serbian duo Nikola Kekic and Matej Sebanov edged Pedro Martinez and Albert Ramos Vignolas 6-7, 6-3, 10-5 in 1 hour and 48 minutes. Meanwhile, Poland became the first team to book their place in the semi-finals of the ATP Cup on Wednesday after beating Argentina 3-0. World number 9 Hubert Hurkacz defeated in-form David Schwartzman to ensure his country's place in the last 4 of the competition. Hurkacz powered his way past Schwartzman 6-1, 6-4 in the second singles match in 81 minutes before Poland won the doubles to complete the sweep. Earlier, Kamil Marsiak overcame Federico Del Bonis 6-3, 7-6 in the opening singles match. The result meant Poland finished top of Group D and will face Spain in the semi-finals. As we wrap up Nightline this time around, let's take a look at these 2 free climbers who climbed a crane that was located in the center of Istanbul and pulled off some risky calisthenics workout from 250 meters in the air. With that, I'm Raymond. Thank you for your company and stay safe, Malaysia.